Okay, let's talk about the lanes, because
Mirana looks really pretty today.
Yeah, she
Prepare
does.
for
She's
battle.
hot. She has a manly voice, which is kind of unfortunate, but
Dude, what's the big deal?
yeah, I don't
like her. Her bangs are horrible, though. I'm gonna say.
Really?
Am I right? They're pretty bad. They look bad.
Her mount is
Horns.
Yeah. All right, I want to talk about the lanes. So we have bottom, mid, and top for both sides. The bottom left of the screen, you'll see Radiant. Not even listening. Just bottom left of the screen, you see Radiant. Top right, you see Dire. Thank you for drawing on the map. That actually helps. Unfortunately, the players in-game cannot see that, so it makes it a little less entertaining pose. But at the 0 second mark at the top of your screen, you'll see the clock. The game will begin, and what we call creeps will spawn from these barracks that are Purge is not looking at right now. He's not looking at anything in particular.
They're thinking about fighting.
Okay. Well,
right,
we don't care about that.
I'm going to look at the dire barracks.
All right, so these uncontrollable creeps, otherwise known as just computer-generated units, will spawn from these barracks and march down mindlessly to the lane and just connect in the middle of each lane and start fighting each other. And of course, you can't control these units. They will just have a mind of their own. Every 30 seconds, they will spawn. So it's just like a constant push. And what you want to do, the goal is to take out their towers, which are the things protecting the lanes. You have to take them in order pretty much. Yeah, actually, you have to. And the eventual goal is to kill the throne, which is deep within, or the ancient, I should say, deep within each respective base.
So the way to do this a bit faster is to kill a lot of creeps. If you get the last hit on a creep, which means you're the last person to hit it with an attack or a spell, then you get the gold for it. If you don't get the last hit, it's fine. You'll still get some experience, but you won't also get gold on top of that. So it's very important. We'll pull up the CS tracker here, or the last hit denies. You want to see who has the most of the first number in this column. The one on the right is denies, but whoever has the most of the first means they pretty much are going to have more gold than anybody else in the game. So it's really important that you get a lot of last hits in your lane. So if you want to see who's doing better in your lane, you could say, oh, Sing Sing has 2 last hits on his Meepo versus 2 last hits of Storm. They're completely equal right now.
And looking at the mid hero that is Meepo for Cloud9, this is a hero that will confuse the crap out of you, I promise. Because he is unlike any other hero in the game, and the fact that you guys have maybe noticed that the ultimate ability, which is typically the most powerful ability for each hero, comes at level 6, 11, and 16, effectively. But for this hero, it's actually really weird, because next level, meaning level 3, he will get the first level of his ultimate, which gives him a clone of himself that he can do with whatever he pleases. I actually don't want to know what he's going to do. Look at him. He looks really creepy. God knows what
I love his hat.
It's
so adorable.
His hat is pretty cute, not going to lie. But this allows him to actually go to other lanes, roam around a bit, farm. In fact, probably the biggest deal is the farming. Farming means you're going to be getting a lot of last hits because you have 2 people to work with. Here we have a Sunstrike from Invoker. It's a global spell. Deals a nice amount of damage to Sing Sing.
Oh.
Or to, sorry, to Mushi.
That's really interesting. He chose not to get his ulti at level 3, I believe. He ended up getting a 2nd level of Poof. He tried to combo with the Sunstrike, but it didn't work out. Looks like AoE is almost dying to neutral. It's no big deal. The Sunstrike only did 100 magic damage, or 100 pure damage, sorry. So his chances of killing him there were actually very low. But I think the Sunstrike did split on creeps. If it does an AoE about this, but if there's multiple units, it splits it evenly. So that's probably why it didn't do as much damage as he was expecting.
Yeah, so watch for Sing Sing. He's going to be hitting level 4 shortly. He will be leveling that ultimate, and he'll have a 2nd person. Oh, actually, yeah, Juggernaut.
It's actually an offlane Juggernaut. This mask is so Power Rangers-esque.
That's awesome. So he picked up a double damage rune, which is why he is glowing blue. It was spawned at the bottom river. It can spawn at the top river or the bottom. 50-50 chance every 2 minutes. So he picked up the 2-minute rune, like we like to call it. Go back to his lane and get some easy last hits thanks to that double damage. But he is against an Invoker, which is a ranged hero. And generally that's not a good thing, because he will take a lot of harassment damage, meaning Invoker can just literally right-click him, and Juggernaut can pretty much do nothing about it. But luckily for him, he's been able to get some experience, which when you're in what we call the off lane, you will get generally less experience than everybody else, but he's picked up 3 levels, so overall he's doing pretty good.
Yeah, Pylite is also doing well though. He's level 3 as well. So the offlane for the Dire team is this side, and the reason it's kind of scary is because the creep wave usually sits here, and it's really far away to the safety of your own tower. Oh wow, a nice kill mid with AUI. The reason this is a safe area for C9 is because the distance to their tower is really short. If you look at the distances in comparison, it's just completely different. So what iceiceice is trying to do, what iceiceice is trying to do here is he's just trying to be really annoying and try to deny farm that Pile Die and Eternal Envy are getting. He doesn't have very many opportunities to get last hits, as you can see. He's only got 9 so far. Ooh, yeah, they could land an arrow, it'd be good. He doesn't have very many opportunities to farm, but he is getting some experience just by being around the creeps that are dying. So his goal is to hit 6, and then Omni/Pile Die, and just kill him. That's what he's aiming to do. This is a little scary for Pile Die. Pile Die is trying to be here when the next rune spawns, and he's going to maybe fight him, but this is scary. I really don't think he can. He's going to have to leap if he gets in trouble.
Yeah, he's pretty slow. Because notice that Mirana, in her inventory, you can see the items there. She does not have boots, which makes you fast. Or faster, I should say.
Oh, this is trouble for Mushi. Wow, what a kill. That was really cool. C9 had that super setup. Bone 7 was sitting here. He stood on the high ground because he knew that Mushi couldn't see him from the low ground. So Mushi was waiting for the rune. I think it got denied or something like that. I think he denied the rune. And then they laid a trap. I mean, Sing Sing came up here. He was waiting on the high ground. They disabled him, and they all just wailed on it. And
so I want to talk about one player real quick, because most of the time we're going to be talking about the hero names. We won't have a lot of personality here, but Sing Sing playing the Meepo, who's going to be going on top of the Storm Spear here. Look at this damage, so much! Of course, Storm Spear can't see that big ball of fire that comes towards him because it is Invoker's spell, but Meepo will trade his life in the end, and Doom on the run. Arrow's going to come, but it doesn't really matter. There's enough damage for Team DK to take him out. But Meepo played by Sing Sing. He's a very famous personality that people love to watch.
He could have gotten that kill.
Who?
Ice. He didn't realize, but Pile Die actually used his leap to get closer to throw the arrow to try to save.
Yeah.
If he knew that this leap was on cooldown, Ice would have gotten that kill for sure, but he didn't realize.
So just to give you an idea of why that's the case, the Juggernaut, played by iceiceice, has boots right now. This gives him plus 50 movement speed versus the Mirana, who, as we talked about in the early game, a support player or support hero typically is not going to get a ton of farm to buy stuff like that. So right now, she just buys it, so she won't have really too much trouble getting away. Juggernaut now.
At least now. They have an observer ward down here in lane. This is an item that is invisible. You put it down and it is like a set of eyes for you. And it's actually spotting out MMY over here. This is the Skywrath Mage. We'll just call him Skywrath Mage for the rest of the game. It spots that he was there, so now they know that they don't want to play aggressive because they know that that guy's sitting around. So they'll be careful. Man, Mushi's still level 5. This is really bad for him. Oh, he died 3. All right,
Invoker gets slowed at bottom lane. Look at this damage. Remember what I said?
Wow.
When that white thing was applied to him, that is the spell from Skywrath Mage that lowers their magic resistance. And Blade Fury does a lot of magic damage, especially at this stage of the game. I mean, it tapers off as the game gets later and later, but right now it is massive.
Ooh, they know AOI's here. He put an observer ward down, and I think they realize that he put a ward down. They're just spotting him out. They want to know exactly where he's standing. I like how active AOI is being this game. It's very uncommon for somebody to spend this too much time ganking when you're playing a jungle Doom, but AOI is playing it like that. He doesn't, like most people just go in the jungle and they get last hits and they get last hits and they get last hits. There's going to be Mushi. He's in a lot of trouble though. There's the nukes coming through. Stun Strike is well going to land, and Mushi goes down. AOI is getting some more experience, throws another nuke out, and MMY I think is going to fall as well. Sing Sing gets another kill, 3, 1, and 2 on Sing Sing. Or Meepo, he's level 8 now.
Okay, let's talk about Meepo. So we've talked about his ultimate, how it gives a clone. This clone actually has access to all of his other abilities. And more importantly, it's, for that purpose at least, it's Earthbind, which is a net that you throw on an enemy. It immobilizes them, and actually it has a little bit of a mini stun, so if there's a channeling ability such as Enigma's Black Hole, it will cancel that. But the beauty of it, he could just layer it, which layering means is you throw one, it lasts for like a couple seconds, then you throw the next one. Perfect timing in order to keep them in the same place for the longest amount of time. This is called efficiency in Dota 2, and Meepo is scary. He's going to start getting really scary.
He's going to start moving around the map a bit. Ooh, we've got a Juggernaut gang coming. He's been able to sap level 6. He's looking for an Omni Slash. He might find Pile Die here. There's the sleep. They're trying to set up the kill on Bone 7. It's going to be kind of scary. Let's see. He's going to silence him. Oh, he gets the orb off. There's the orb through, and he's going to try to TP. Doesn't matter. Easy kill. So the fact that he even got the orb off in the first place was pretty amazing because Pile Die finds the enemy hero. Yeah, they just set that up with MMY. That was really cool. Oh, the sleep. We didn't talk about Naga Siren. She was the last pick. As you saw there, she casts a song. It sounds really nice and stuff, but it puts people to sleep somehow. And that means that you cancel the song at some point, and then you kill somebody that you're prepared to kill. So they use the song to walk everybody forward, and then when they're ready to go, they can cast the sounds. Wow, and MMY, the Skywrath Major, he's been in 5 kills already. He's been all 5 of DK's kills. He's level 6 at 8 minutes as a support. That's really, really highly leveled, all because he roamed really well this game. It only means he was around, he was getting kills where the action was happening. So I'm sure the game...
Oh, arrow from Mirana's going to hit Burning Puck. Does a little bit of damage, but it's too early. Like, he has a nice initiation possibilities. Puck's ultimate's called Dream Coil. It keeps people essentially in place, I guess is the best way to put it, but they just don't have enough damage to follow this up with anything. So it's going to be a free tower going the way of DK. Of course, you see these little illusions here from the Naga Signer. That's one of her abilities. She can create illusions of herself. And the great thing about her, or, well, depending on your perspective, I guess, some people hate her guts, but the later the game goes, the more powerful those illusions become based on some of the items that you end up picking up.
He's actually going a really interesting skill build. He's maxing out his mirror image skill first. Almost all Naga Sirens will max out their Riptide, but the reason he's putting more points into this is because if you take a look at the wording there, the incoming damage gets reduced, so his illusions become tankier and they do more damage, so it helps him push towers. Really cool. I've never seen somebody go this build before. Everybody's like in Dota it's very easy to like stick to the same skill and item builds all the time. So it's fun to see when somebody does something innovative that's a little interesting. It's one of the things that makes the game really fun to watch. Anyways, in the meantime, C9 was able to take a tower in the mid lane. Sing's going the exact same item build that he did in the last game, which is a fast Aghanim Scepter. And what the Aghanims does is it boosts his ulti and it gives him an extra meepo. So once he finishes this, and he's very close, he's only 1,400 gold away. Once he finishes this, he gets another meepo, and then he has more ways to poof. He's already up to 3 meepos right now, but going up to 4 and then eventually 5 meepos means that his damage output is huge, and he has tons more poofs, and he has way more earthbinds.
Yeah, poof is a great skill name. Uh-oh. Poor Mirana is going to get chosen here for the death target that is DK. The silence, which was the initiation from Skywrath Mage, means even though Mirana has a spell that she can leap away to safety, which generally gives her a lot of confidence.
You would think that you could just tell the cat to jump, but apparently when the magic hits you, it prevents your cat from casting its spell of jump.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Puck here has an invisibility right here. They cannot see him whatsoever. Watch for his Dream Coil. There it is. Nice damage. Look at all that blueness. That is from Skywrath Mage, but it's not that much damage. It's shared between Meepo's clones, but it doesn't really matter. He ends up falling regardless of the fact. Juggernaut gonna fall as well. So it's a 2-for-1 exchange.
I think that was pretty worth it there for C9. One cool thing about having Meepo against Skywrath Mage is there's so many Meepos that even though the Skywrath Mage ulti landed right on top of him, it gets split evenly. So it wasn't that big of a deal. They did end up killing Sing on the Meepo, but they got 2 heroes killed and they defended their tower, and they're going to be able to take this tower as well. So the one really crucial ability that started out on this Dream Coil is the purple orb on the ground, and then it has little purple tendrils going to the 2 heroes. And it basically keeps them within this AoE. If they leave the AoE, they take a bunch of damage and they get stunned. So it pretty much forces them to stand in place for up
they have
to
a choice
6
to
seconds.
make. The red or the blue.
They have a choice, exactly.
Everybody takes the blue.
So they got forced into position. The Doom came forward. They got good kills. Meepo denies a tower up on the top lane. What this does is it prevents DK from getting full gold for this. They get about half of the gold or less. So it's really good to deny towers. The only downside is that your tower's gone.
The cool thing about Meepo that we've never talked about is there's a passive ability built into his ultimate that lowers the cooldown on his death timer. And what that means, when you die, based on what level you are, there's a cool little formula that we won't really get into. But basically, the higher level you are, the longer you'll be dead for until you respawn. But Meepo has it basically reduces his cooldown by like up to 30%, I do.
Yep. 30%. The problem is that because Meepos are all over the map and they can farm so fast and get so many levels, he generally ends up getting extremely over-leveled, and when he does end up dying, he's dead forever. So a bit of a buff to the hero reduces his respawn timer. Kind of a cool little interaction. There's always like little changes to Dota that happen every few months, and it's really fun to watch them go in the game. It's one of the things that makes Dota really fun to play.
You can see CLOUD9 is now invisible. That big moon over the head means that is Mirana's ultimate. It makes everybody invisible after a short period of time. Usually used to try to get some sort of a gank or a kill. A gank, of course, means you're just leaving the lane to try to kill somebody in a different lane. but they don't find anything here. So
yeah, they did that because they were trying to find out where DK was, and they didn't know where DK was. If you look at all these wards, these are observer wards. These are the ones that give vision. This one gives vision as well. And these are sentry wards on the ground. They did actually spot them running past the creep wave with these sentry wards, so they knew that they're invis, and all of DK backed off. So C9 was just trying to figure out where the heck DK is, and even right now, most of them are missing, and they're confused about it. So they're just trying to figure out what the heck's going on.
Why don't you click on Naga Sign, because I want to talk about items a bit here, Purge, if you do not mind. So he has sacred relic. Now, what this means, as far as like how items are built, there are a lot of raw damage, or sorry, raw items that you buy that just give you stats. As he's going to find some trouble here. That is the Sunstrike from Invoker from the other side of the map will actually miss. But remember, Naga gets very slowed. It's like a constant barrage of skills from man. You just can't get away in a 1 versus 1.
That was really well done by CLOUD9 on the Meepo there. I mean, we did have a Sunstrike on top of it, but he did the long-range Earthbind. It's really hard to play this hero if you guys didn't know it. I mean, he's choosing to move these guys back and stuff. When you only have one hero to mess with, it's not that hard to play your hero, but managing 3 is difficult because you have to tab through them. You use the spell on one, then you have to click on the next one, and then you use the next spell, all without making mistakes. And being able to get that kill solo was really big because he's going for a Radiance, and he killed him before he's able to get the 1350 gold
yeah, so
needed to
let's go back to that thought. We might miss some action here, but it doesn't really matter. This is the purpose of the stream, and you're just going to have to deal with it. But the way you build items, you get the raw item. Actually, can you bring up the shot? That would be a lot easier. So as you can see, this Radiance item, which is the one above that Sacred Relic, takes 2 components. It takes the Sacred Relic, which gives you plus 60 damage passively, and it takes a piece of paper, apparently. You put them together and it makes a Radiance. And this item is absolutely ridiculous on Naga Science. So it gives you a bunch of damage, as we talked about. In addition, it gives you a passive ability that's always active on your hero that deals damage in an area around you, is the best way to put it. And the cool thing with her is that when she makes her illusions, they actually get that effect as well. So what you'll see her do is split her illusions up. They'll move to different lanes, push them because you're doing a lot of damage. Yeah, you're seeing it right now. And in addition to that, her other skill, which is Riptide, which deals damage in the area around her, also works on her illusions. So this hero, the later the game goes, the more ridiculous she becomes.
Yeah, it's really good. You just put 1 on every camp. The Radiance Burn kills them pretty much. It's very simple. It's a really good way to farm basically, and once they get it, it's gonna kind of put them in a scary spot. I like what Sing is doing with 2 of his Meepos here. He just leaves them over in the trees because he waits for this wave to be pushing, and if anybody shows up and farms there, he's just gonna pop out and kill him. And it's fine for them to sit there because he's farming. He still gets the same amount of EXP with 1 Meepo sitting here as he does 2. So the other 2 hypothetically could be farming, but he's just keeping them in a position to come in and backstab any heroes that are over there. So the map is actually pretty decently cut in terms of C9's favor. They're farming slightly more than half of it, so I think they're pretty happy with their positioning. But they don't know where DK is either, and this sometimes happens with both teams. One team will be like, I don't know where they are. I think they're ganking me. Let's hide. And the other team will be like, huh, I don't know where they are. Let's hide. And then they kind of just sit back, and that's what's happening right now. C9 is really scared about the fight, and they've waited long enough. They say, screw it, let's use a smoke. This will make them invisible to wards. Oh, they're going to get revealed on iceiceice, though. Ooh, so close.
Quite.
If he gets too close, there it is. Revealed. Pylite Ice gets spotted now. And they say, oh, he just came out of invis. They're obviously using a smoke. Time to run back.
Yeah, this is when they know. This is unfortunate. You can't buy that many smokes. There's only a few at a time you can buy. Yeah. Get revealed, it just kind of screws everything over. But there is a double damage rune top. Sing is going to put it in his bottle, which is an item you pick up pretty early in the game, and it gives you 3 charges that you can use on yourself, or actually even an ally. I forgot about that. It gives health and mana over time. It's very nice. It's a pretty quick way to regenerate up. But in addition, you can actually, instead of picking up the rune, you can put it in your bottle, and for up to 2 minutes, you can keep that and just use it whenever you want. So it's a nice way to have something. Again, the runes are kind of a way that make things imbalanced. It's probably the best way to put it, because it gives you something that you shouldn't have any access to. There's no reason this hero should have double damage at this point.
Yeah, it's actually really good on Meepo too. I think if you use it, it gives double damage to the Meepos that are in the small area around you. So he can actually do double damage. It won't just give double damage to his primary hero.
Wait, okay, not to get complicated. That works for illusions. Are you sure that works for Meepo? clones? It's
I'm not 100%. I guess I might be unsure about it, but
it's possible. It might be.
I'm fairly sure. Oh yeah, something we never talked about on Meepo. You might be wondering how his other Meepos scale. It's basically when you grab an Aghanim Scepter, all stat items you purchase get applied equally to them. They only carry the boots generally, so they don't all get copies of sheep sticks or disabling items or wands or mechs. But if you buy an Aghanim and then you buy more stat items, all the stats get applied. So that's why all these Meepos have approximately the same total HP. It's because of those stats being applied to them. So you generally just buy a lot of stat items on Meepo with a little utility. And he's got a blink dagger now, which means he can jump in and try to catch an enemy hero and then blink in, poof in all of his heroes.
Yeah, he's going to deal a lot of damage. But here we see Roshan, the big ancient creep. That is Roshan, of course, being taken out. Now you saw that big fire thingy come from the sky. That is Invoker on the other team. That gives a little bit of damage, but so that they know they're going for it. It's too late. So what happens is you get experience from that, you get some gold for your whole team, and then an item drops, which Storm Spirit has picked up. Called the Aegis of the
You're talking about Roshan just now, by the way.
Yes.
The big creature that they just killed is called Roshan, and it drops the Aegis, and it gives their team gold.
Indeed, and actually this is an amazing hero to have an Aegis of the Immortal on, because you guys will see very shortly, he jumps in, uses a lot of mana, does a lot of damage, and then if he dies, he comes back to life with full mana and full health, and because his abilities have, his ultimate in particular has 0 cooldown, so you could just use that all over again.
If you have mana. Yep.
Right, if you have mana, which the Aegis of the Immortal will give you in that case. Naga Siren, we didn't officially say, picked up that Radiance, which was that burning item, and now has Boots of Travel, and these are the most expensive boots you can buy in the game. They give you the most move speed, and they allow you to teleport to towers and allied units, not including Hero, not working on that. But it works on her illusions, I believe, so she'll be able to teleport to
her illusions will run. No, she can't teleport to her illusions, but her illusions do run a lot faster because of this, and that's where she starts becoming a very annoying hero. She isn't in the tanky part of her build yet, but she does have Song of the Siren, so if she does get ganked, she'll just pop this and try to survive. So any kills on her are very difficult because she'll generally just Song. That's why that first kill that happened on her was pretty big. It did slow her down a little bit and helped give Sing some EXP, or Meepo some EXP.
But right now here you can see Invoker. This is one of his 10 abilities called Ghost Walk. He's invisible, and he actually slows units that are close to him. He's now out of it, of course. It's one of his least used abilities into the mid game.
Especially in this build, because he doesn't have very many points in Wex, you can see by these little orange pips at the bottom. Because he doesn't have very many pips in it, the ability isn't very strong. So this is what limits you from just having all of the abilities become really strong. You can change your build depending on where your skill points are. So he's got a lot of Exhort, which means he wants his magic damage to be very high on all of his Exhort related spells. So he grabs Chaos Meteor here. That's 2 Exhort and 1 Wex, and it does a lot of damage because he has so many Exhort points. It's pretty cool.
And of course, when you're using Invoker, you only have 2 skills that you can use at one time, but there's a bunch of items you can get later in the game. This is why this hero is so good the later the game goes, because you can just buy all these items that refresh your abilities. You can have 0 cooldown on invoking spells, so you can pretty much have an unlimited amount of spells for the most part in team fights, and he gets pretty crazy overall. Meepo at the bottom.
He wants to gank him, but they're sitting behind him. All these smoked heroes. He's invisible though. He grabbed an invisibility rune, which means they can't see him unless they use invis detection. I'm gonna check these supports to see if they have anything. There's a gem on Sky's Mage. This is really bad. There's the song coming in. And this is looking to be a dead thing. Actually, they stopped that pretty early. There's the damage coming through. Sing's gonna get blown up. The Meepo dies immediately. And that is what really smart teams do. They put their carries forward, they finally put them in a place where they can get killed, and they sit everybody else behind them. And as soon as you go on the one guy that you can see, their supports are right behind him and they die. So
and Mirana is forced to use her ult, meaning everybody is invisible for Team Cloud9. And you might have been wondering why they had no idea they were there. And that's because, as you can see from the wards on the minimap, it's not going to give a lot of vision for Cloud9, so they had pretty much no idea that the enemy team was there. They were probably
They ran in this way and they were smoked, so.
But a very common thing for Naga Siren to do is just push a lane by herself anyway, because if she gets initiated,
Arrow. Ooh, it's got Mushi, 5 seconds.
Can they follow this up though?
They're looking for this on strike. Bone 7's going to nuke this as well, but he's going to live.
Fine.
So one of the problems of getting a 5-second arrow is that very often you're not going to be able to get the fall. Oh, they didn't spot the obs ward. The sentry will be able to deward it. Alright, they're going to see it now, I think.
Yeah. Okay, he's just going to, he's like, hey,
please God, kill that.
They can see us. See this little toilet? That is the healing ward for Juggernaut, by the way,
Please
and it
kill
just
the
died.
ward. There we go, there's a ping.
Yes,
Okay,
50 gold goes Invoker's way right now. No. Now, there you go. Well done, Invoker.
It's really important to kill those because they have a very long cooldown. So if you can get control of the map and kill people's observer wards, then it lets you make better decisions and trick your opponents a lot more.
So it seems as if Storm Spirit is not going for that silence item called the Orchid of Malevolence that you talked about. He's going for a Bloodstone, which we'll have to talk about once he picks up. It's going to be a lot better. There's the initiation on top of the big black hole. Sing Sing taking so much damage, just too much to speak of. And that was a big ability used by Enigma, but probably worth it because, like we talked about in the last game that Meepo was picked, this is a hero that can get out of control really fast, so the more times you can kill him in the early stages of the game into the mid game, which we're in the mid game right now, the better. Yeah,
it was really smart of DK. Well, they did see that he was there, and it was because of this ward that they placed. And this is probably one of the reasons they placed this, because they're expecting Sing to play really aggressive and play in the jungle like this. But they put the ward down, they saw him moving to this camp, and because of that, they had an easy kill on him. So immediately afterwards, Sing says, there's probably a ward over here, and he pinged. So that means to the supports, you should go over there later. He's got a sentry now. Pylai Dai will want to deward that, because otherwise that's going to keep happening. And 2 kills in a row on Sing Sing on the Meepo like that is just a really bad spot to be in for C9. So the game's not looking amazing. They do have a lot of farming heroes, and the gold graph is still in their advantage, but they're not snowballing as hard as they would like to right now.
I want to talk about a player here, Lan M, playing that Enigma, which of course is a big team fight ultimate hero. This Team DK in general has been well regarded. This is kind of like the super team of Asia, if you will, and they've been getting some hate lately because of that, I guess. But Lan M in particular, apparently this is going to be his last year. He's going to retire. So they really, really want to win this international. And of course, like I said, coming into this tournament, they were actually the favorites. And what rank are they, like 4th?
I think they're 3rd or 4th, yeah. They were in 3rd or 4th.
They did pretty damn well in the group stages. Well, yeah. They did stumble a bit at the start, which people were very surprised by, but they're definitely coming back with a vengeance. This is one of the more experienced teams. Every single player at some point in time was the best player on their teams, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So it looks like C9 is going to group up a bit. It kind of looked like they were going to smoke. They keep pinging as well. There's the smoke. So they're smoking. Eternal Envy is going to be in the front. DK might be wise to this, actually, because one of the illusions spotted that they're all standing around in this jungle, which looks a lot like a smoke. So they're going to move into the jungle. Again, this is their support, Tomb, who's got Doom. He's got a Midas, so he's still farming very well. AOI, by the way, used to play carry on his last team, so this guy he definitely knows how to farm, even though he's playing a support role. And DK is running for the hills. They're going to spot iceiceice middle, maybe. One observer is down. Yep, they see him. Here comes the blink. There's the stun. He's going to dive silence as well, and Arrow's going to land. An easy kill. Nice kill by C9 there. I like the observer placement. It was barely able to spot the Juggernaut standing here. So
the great thing about that is Doom did not have to expend his ultimate. I mean, they continue to fight, and you guys may have noticed he jumped in, used a stun, which he generally doesn't have, but he ate with his first ability, Devour. He ate a creep that has a stun ability, so he just stole it from that poor Centaur creep. And as a result, they're now going to not only get a kill, but it looks like a tier 2 tower as well. And nice.
Oh, Storm's going BKB first, okay. So he bought a point booster, and now he's buying the BKB, and there's the BKB. And what the Black King bar does, it looks like a skull on a stick. It makes you magic immune for up to 10 seconds, and if you're magic immune, that means most magic nukes won't hit you. And also any stats.
Oh my god, oh my lord.
Do you kill him with an illusion?
Yes.
Oh. Not too surprising, but
yeah, that's
rough
insane.
Stuff. All right, quit killing my train of thought.
Oh, I'm sorry, that's just...
All right, stop, just stop. All right, so it makes him magic immune. That means he doesn't have to worry about things like the Orchid that Invoker is dealing with. He doesn't have to worry about Puck silence. He doesn't have to worry about Puck ulti, Puck orb, all this magic damage. He still has to be a little scared about Meepo, because Meepo's right click and Geostrike provide a really nice slope, but as a whole, it's really good and generally important for Storm to grab a Black King bar at a fairly early time in the game.
Yeah.
Radiant structures are fortified.
CLOUD9, 9-11, DK's favor. Who do you give the late game to? Well, I mean, they do have a Naga Siren. How good is Naga Siren late game?
Naga Siren's not amazing late game, but she's really good at delaying the game. She's really good at pushing, and straight up team fights, she's good, but not amazing. Right. I would say she's probably better than Meepo, though, I would say. Meepo has AoE magic damage. He can get pretty extreme and pretty useful in a lot of ways, but I would say Naga's probably a bit better than a Meepo. They also have a Doom, and Doom late game is very good, very, very good, because you can do things like just Doom Actually, they're smoking. There's going to be a fight here, I think, unless they completely run past each other, which they're going to. No one's smoke gets removed, so they don't realize. And C9's just going to try to steal Roshan. They actually don't even want to fight. They're just going to stand outside. This is going to be perfect. Oh, the only thing that might reveal is the courier. The courier's flying through. It's going to get spotted by this ward. DK's going to realize what's going on. There's the ping. They know. They're like, oh, there's a courier. That means that they're standing over here somewhere, and it doesn't matter. It's too late. They took Roshan. They stole Roshan. Meepo picks it up. What a big snag. That was really scary, though. If you see a courier flying like that, it's obviously transferring items.
And Meepo picks up the Aegis the Immortal, and that is a perfect choice for him.
Yeah.
How does that work, in fact, when he dies? Does he just respawn with all of them, or do they all stay alive during?
They will all die when
okay.
one of them dies, and then they'll respawn where the main Meepo was.
Awesome.
But they'll all respawn right there. So it's really good. It's actually one of the better heroes to have Aegis on, in my opinion. And the Aegis is this item, this red item in his inventory. They got it from Roshan. If he dies, he respawns without losing gold. So it's really good to have it on Meepo, especially against DK's lineup, because they have a lot of big ultis, like Mystic. Like, think about every other time that Meepo died, they casted a lot of stuff on him. They'd cast Mystic Flare, they'd cast Black Hole, they'd cast like maybe Spin or Omni Slash, and spend a lot of mana on Storm. So if he can revive after they use those big cooldown abilities, it's going to be really hard for them to kill him a second time.
And looking at Storm Spirit and the rest of DK in the bottom lane, they're going to continue to push.
Radiant's
and
bottom
Mushi
tower is under
on
attack.
that Storm Spirit, one of the best players in the world, but definitely, typically a mid player on his past team and this team included. In fact, he actually switches that up with iceiceice a little bit. Changeable.
It hasn't happened that much this tournament, though, surprisingly.
But he has the Black King bar, like he talked about, makes him magic immune. So this gives him confidence to just jump in. And of course, this hero has the longest initiation, I'd like to say, potential at least. He can fly across the map as long as he has enough mana, which this point booster will be turned into something else, a Bloodstone later on that will help him
Light Shadow.
use that mana. There we go.
All of DK. Man, DK really sits together so often. They're just scared of the pickoffs. If they stay grouped and a fight happens, then
Radiant's
they have
middle
they found
tower
illusion.
is under
Nice.
attack.
If they get initiated on and their team's together, at least they can try to salvage things. And whoever's not there can teleport, like, which is going to be burning.
Keep in mind the Storm Spirit, who I think is the most important hero for DK right now when they initiate into fights and whatnot. But definitely. The problem is he has a BKB, so when you pop that, like we talked about so many times before, he turns golden. You guys will see that very easily on the screen. He'll turn golden, he'll be magic immune. But the problem is Doom on the other team, his ultimate goes through that completely. Like, it's literally like it's not even there. So he'll be dooming, that's his main target.
Easily the best person to cast on. Even if Storm has already casted a spell or two, it prevents him from using Ball Lightning, which means he's going to be just a regular slow walking hero at that point. He won't do any damage really. So he's a really good hero to doom. Probably one of the reasons why Storm Spirit isn't picked very much right now.
All the Meepos picking up Scythe of Ice lately. So Scythe of Ice is a very late game item picked up usually by intelligence heroes, but it doesn't have to be.
Do you know why Meepo buys this?
Because it's awesome.
Okay. The main reason is because Meepo doesn't have a heart stun. He has an entangle, which is good. Might get initiated on here.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
There's the blink that's going to slow things down a bit. He's going to have to get covered here. Here's the nuke. He avoids the damage, actually. This is really good for him if they can follow up on this. But they don't know where they are. That's nighttime. Happens 4 minutes. Ooh, arrow almost going to catch MMY. So that was good. They didn't lose that much. It was just a Mystic Flare. Cooldown's really low. Okay, they're fine. So, what Sheepstick does is it hexes somebody, which turns them into a small, harmless critter, so they can't attack, they can't cast spells. It's pretty much a stun, but they can slightly move. It's a very good disable to have. It's ranged. It's got a low cooldown, 35 seconds. All right, that's pretty long, but it's a really good disable. And it's as an item, it also gives a bunch of stats, which is it's exactly what Meepo wants. He wants mana on his creatures. As the fight actually moves, you can pop BKB. There's the nuke on him. He's kind of dedicated to this. Omni Slash is actually just going to kill Pylite Die, which is pretty ideal here.
And the Doom was too late. So I mean, that's so hard to apply to Storm Spirit because he jumps in so quickly, applies the stun to somebody, and well, the Doom is useless in this case because not only is there a healing ward, but the entire team was waiting for him as well. And I doubt CLOUD9 wants to pursue, although Ron is only dead for another 10 seconds.
Radiant
but
structures are fortified.
Yeah, we have a TP mid, so I guess that's just me. Oh my goodness. Okay, Naga Siren has a Heart of Tarask, and this makes her much more tanky as well as her illusion. So you're going to see them do a lot more damage overall.
Oh, big black hole. Going multi, both 7 drops.
Maybe AUI 2000 as well. He's not able to pop his BKB just yet. There goes BKB popping the wand. Mushi's gonna fall. Big kill there. Can they get LANM as well? Sing Sing looking low. That's gonna be his Aegis. They all go down. They'll be respawning shortly. Looks like his team is ditching him. AUI 2000's also hiding. This is all nice and beautiful. See ya. And they all teleport in. They're still taking a bit of burning damage here. That's funny, because this guy's name is Burning.
Yeah. Good pun.
Not too bad for C9. I think, so they lost Pylai die right at the start of before the fight even started. And then it re-happened. They ended up losing Puck due to the black hole. But they killed Juggernaut and Storm Spirit, and they used Black King bars. So I think that's a C9 win. They lost the Aegis, but it was probably kind of close to running out anyways. So I think that was good for them. They killed 2 big heroes. They didn't kill Burning, of course, and they burned Black Hole. So if they want to do anything tactically, they have 133 seconds. Bit of a mistake here. DK accidentally.
What a bad manner slash.
What a BM. If you're in Korea, you would get fined for this.
For sure, but
literally
going back to Naga Siren, this is when she starts becoming a nuisance. Well, I guess she was a nuisance already, but now she's become a threat. I don't know. She becomes ridiculous. I mean, talk about why. Well, I guess I already talked about why. The heart makes her illusions much more tanky, so not only can they kill everything in the area, like creeps and whatnot, just killing the lanes. You could put one in top lane, mid lane, bottom lane if you really want to, along with her Manta style, which I didn't even realize she had. Manta style creates illusions as well. So she has an item that creates illusions, she has a skill that creates illusions, and all of her illusions are super tanky. Look at this. Look at how hard these are to kill. Like as the game goes on, heroes have to dedicate their entire time. Look at this. In fact, they have to do it now. Like Bone 7 on the Puck can barely contain these himself. And they just take out the tower.
He did get the deny at least, which is good. But yeah, the Radiance burn alone. He actually has trouble dealing with these things because there's so many items on the Naga Siren now. So that's Heart Manta. And this is, he's going to go into probably a Diffusal Blade or a Butterfly next. Those items are damage items. Now that he's tanky, he has a magic burn, he has a second way to make illusions to be more annoying. He's just in such a good place, right? What is a tower deny? When you deny a tower, it gives less gold to your opponent, basically. So because Pylai because Bone 7 denied that, they only got 100 per person instead of 200 per person. So it's a really good way to accept that you're becoming defeated, but to also decrease their gold gain. You can only deny towers when they're below 10%. Otherwise, people could just like grief you and deny towers all the time. So, is that a Manta? He's found illusion rune, I guess.
On Meepo. That's a lot of Meepos. And of course, these illusions, they look blue to us and to Team CLOUD9, but to DK, they just look like normal. Yes. So he's just going to take this time to stack these ancients. It's probably a good time to talk about stacking. You can do this to any jungle camp or ancient camp here at 53 seconds or so. Some of it's a little bit different as far as timing. You pull these creeps out because they will just follow you everywhere you go. You're allowed to stack these up over and over again, giving you more gold, giving you more experience. Here's the jungle, perhaps a jungle fight. Oh, see that arrow?
I did not.
Almost hit. Very close. So the arrow, the longer it is, of course, the longer stun and damage it will do. But it does have a range, so eventually it'll just run out. It'll just run out of steam. It looks actually weird. It's just literally disappears. It should just fall to the ground. Doesn't.
Find the Sentry Ward. They place this to try to block. Arrow's gonna scout. Game's pretty passive. There's the Diffusal Blade pickup. What this does is it gives your hero a little bit of agility. Agility is good for illusions because they attack faster and they do more damage, if you're an agility hero, that is. It also mana burns, so every time these illusions hit an enemy hero, they drain a little mana. It does some damage because of it. And that's really good. It's one of the few orbs that actually apply to illusions. So, and it also has an active that slows people, but we won't see it for that. It's mainly just picked up on Naga Siren because of the mana burn and the extra damage.
Yeah, that's gonna be so dirty. She's getting close to finishing all the items in her inventory, meaning there's 6 slots in inventory. So being 6 slotted means there's 6 items that you would never replace no matter how much gold you have. And she has 5 of those right now for the most part. And Roshan is going to be the target for DK. Of course, this is the big ancient creep in the middle of the map, or close to the middle of the map, that drops. Now this is the 3rd kill on Roshan, so this is interesting. So he drops the Aegis of the Immortal as always, which means a free life for whoever picks it up. He also drops a delicious cheese, which when he picks that up, you have to use it of course, but when you do eat it, It basically gives you a ton of health, a ton of mana. For the most part, brings you back to full health, full mana for most heroes. We'll see if he picks it up. It's always interesting to see. So Storm Spirit's going to get the Aegis. This is a good choice because no matter if he dies, he'll come back to life. And of course, since he doesn't have much health to speak of, if he gets locked down somehow by Doom or something like that,
what is he
no problem
building?
Who, the Storm?
Yeah, it looks like he's building a Scotty. Probably not building a Scotty, but maybe he's building a Scotty. It's possible. It's a very all right. Storm Spirits usually build one of three items. They get a BKB, which he's got. They get an Orchid, or they get a Sheepstick, or they get a Bloodstone. This item here appears to be a Bloodstone. I would have assumed that was going to be a Bloodstone, but now he's got an Ultimate Orb, which maybe is a Sheepstick. So maybe he just wanted to buy a Point Booster and just hold it all game.
Point Booster gives really good stats.
It's either a Scythe of Ice or the Sheepstick, or it's going to be a Scotty.
So,
very unusual.
Yeah, the item that he has in inventory right now called the Point Booster, this gives 150 mana and 200 health static. And for the price, which is 1200, is actually pretty damn good. It's not the worst item to have just as like it's called casually holding it, right?
Yeah.
You don't really, you want to upgrade this at some point, I'm sure, but maybe it has something to do. So the Bloodstone in general, you kind of want to get it early. You don't always have to, but it's actually turning this Ultimate Orb into a Link. That's really good against Doom. This is a very defensive build.
How do you know he's doing this?
But the recipe is on the courier. Oh wait, he just sold it.
It's on the ground. He did buy it, so it is a Lincoln's. I thought it wasn't going to be a Lincoln's. I was like, I don't think it'll be a Lincoln's. Lincoln's is actually probably the right choice. I was just thinking about this. Look at the items of the Radiant team. There's 2 Sheepsticks, 2 Scythe of Ices, and these items are really dangerous because they're great for initiating on somebody before they use Black King Bar. So if somebody has a Sheepstick and they want to catch Storm Spirit with it, if he has a Lincoln's, that'll dodge that Sheepstick. And dodging a Sheepstick with a Lincoln Sphere makes the item completely worth it because it counteracts their gold, essentially.
Right.
So if he can stop the Sheepstick and it gives him a better chance at BKBing at the start of the fight, he's more likely to contribute and not fail. So it's really nice.
It's also really good against Doom because remember, if he pops BKB, the only thing that goes through it is Doom. And if he casts that while he's BKB'd, it's just going to get blocked.
You're right. Your point is actually better than mine in this case.
Wow, that's a
good job. It's better to block Doom. That's the thing he wants to block more than.
Let me bask in my glory.
Okay. Sure. Oh, Sunsfang, you are so wise and great. This one time you thought of something.
I don't know. I'm doing the Canadian national anthem.
That's
really random.
You're definitely not.
Wait, this
from
is
Arizona, dude. What's up?
Owie 2000 is from Canada.
He is actually.
It's fitting.
Eternal Envy as well. 2 Canadians on the C9 team, and they have a Swede and a Dutch dude and a Romanian.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Like to say I'm a Romanian.
Dire's structures are fortified.
CLOUD9's grouped up in the enemy jungle. They're just waiting for something. I'm not sure what. There's 3 minutes. Of course, something I failed to mention. The Aegis of the Immortal on Storm Spirit doesn't last forever. It lasts for 6 minutes, and he has only 3 minutes left on it. Another Sheepstick. Holy jeez, that's the 3rd Sheepstick, this time on Puck.
They don't have... Alright, they have pretty good disables, but they didn't have the best disables. And buying Sheepsticks is never a bad thing. I don't think there's ever been a game where I've been like, you know what? A Sheepstick isn't very useful. It's always useful because you can use one Sheepstick, then the next guy can use a Sheepstick, then the next guy can use a Sheepstick, and you haven't even used your skills yet. We're talking about really easy kills on a lot of heroes, and it gives you so many options. It really does.
And of course with Puck, he can just blink in, which is instant, and then Sheep, which is also instant, so there's very little chance for somebody to try to counter that unless the rest of their team there. And this is why the Lincolns is so important on the Storm Spirit, because again, this is a passive thing that it blocks, but he literally has to do nothing. You just stand there and it'll block it.
This is so weird. Mushi's collecting items for his Lincolns very slowly, and he's just putting them in his base. It's like, I'm not done yet, but I'll just buy a Void Stone. He still needs a Ring of Health. Kind of peculiar that he's doing like this. We have the last item for Burning finished. He's going to trade it out. He's even got his Diffusal 2, which is a slight upgrade that increases the mana. This is it. He's very likely not going to change items for the rest of the game.
Maybe Diffusal at some point. Maybe.
It's his best damage item, honestly. It really increases your damage a lot. He's not going to buy anything else. If he does, it's because something hits the fan, and he really needs something else to adjust based on like high-level item choices.
Keep in mind that he also, you may think, okay, we have all the items, let's push. That's actually not the case yet for DK, because
why is that?
Well, he wants to get more gold. Watch them actually just start now. I feel like a lot of times when you put all this investment into a Naga Star, you want to get all this gold in order to buy back if you die, because you want to have backup plans. So I expect them to farm just a little bit more. I mean, there's only 1 minute left on the Aegis. Is this enough time to force a fight? Perhaps. A little risky, but with the Storm Spirit, it's actually doable, I suppose. We'll see if DK ends up wanting to do that or not. Storm Spirit. Oh, I'm sorry, that was actually wow, Enigma has an Aghanim Scepter.
Yeah.
That is awesome. So we haven't talked about his Midnight Pulse, which is a huge area thing there.
Purple thing.
That more blue than I guess it's purplish blue.
Yep.
It deals damage based on the percentage. It's max HP or current HP? It's max. So based on your max HP, it deals a percentage of damage, which is actually great because the later the game goes, it'll actually scale into the late game very well. So the cool thing about, I guess the bad thing about this spell is a lot of times you want to jump in with your Blink Dagger, use your ultimate, and you don't really have time to pull off a Midnight Pulse. But the Aghanim Scepter, when you pick it up, it actually adds a Midnight Pulse to the black hole. And
that
stacks on top of Midnight Pulse. So if you're able to put 2 of them, it's pretty damn big too.
Yep, it's really good. So the reason he's purchasing this is because they're a little worried about their ability to kill Meepo. Meepo has so many Meepos, and they all have good magic resistance, and they all have about 3,000 HP now because he's buying all these strength items. Because of all the survivability that Meepo has, they don't have good ways to kill it. In the last game, remember how we talked about tanky heroes, and eventually Weaver got a Monkey King Bar, and he got a Deadlands. They got 2 big single target damage items. Well, Storm Spirit went for all these defensive things. He spent 4,000 gold on Black King Bar. He spent 5,000 gold on Lincoln Sphere. These are both defensive. They don't really have a hero on DK's team that is good at killing single target heroes. Naga Siren's pretty good, but as soon as Meepo poops 5 times, all of the illusions are going to be dead no matter what. So they need a way to kill Meepos, and Aghanims is a good way to do it because these have 3,000 HP. They take 7% of his max damage per second, and he's going to do a ton of AoE damage with this Aghanims. It's a good pickup this game, I think.
Storm Spirit finally finished his Lincoln Sphere. He's going to feel a hell of a lot more confident, but of course the Aegis of the Immortal has now been reclaimed by the still dead Roshan. So the question is, do they go in with all these items? That Naga probably has enough for buyback. Oh my gosh, she has 4,200 gold now, so she definitely has enough for buyback. Or do they wait for Roshan to come up? Because when you kill him, he comes back a random, between 8 and 11 minutes after you kill him, he will spawn. And nobody knows what time that actually is. So
we will know soon.
Yeah, we, the spectators.
As soon as this comes to this dot, we'll know. Oh, I think it's this this arc. Oh, I see.
No.
It flashes like this because it's like, it's going to be somewhere in here.
It's a good clock. I like it.
It makes more and more sense every time I look at it.
About 15 seconds away or so from actually finding out.
Yeah.
That should be very exciting for DK.
What's it gonna be?
Of course, like I said, they still don't know. What they're gonna do? Okay, he spawns in 2 minutes.
Boom! All right. Yeah, that's pretty far. And they strike it. This was just to say, is it spawned already? Basically.
So this is almost a full duration Roshan. So this is going to give another 2 minutes for DK to just farm the map. I mean, look at CLOUD9. This is a real problem when you're behind in the late game. So they're resigned to their base. Except for Eternal Envy, except for the Doom and the Invoke who just got base. Every single hero is in their own base.
Can we just talk about how there's a 200 gold difference between these two teams that have farmed 88,000 gold?
Pretty
200 gold difference right now.
That is so close. What about the experience? Boom, not even close.
Oh wow.
But it's CLOUD9.
Wow.
In favor.
There's so much more. What are the level differences?
If you look at stats alone, it looks like CLOUD9's winning.
Look at these level differences. The only person that's really far behind is Pylai, but that's
look
because
at the last hits though.
I mean, Burning has got everything, but how is he not level 25? This really surprises me, actually.
Well,
it's because his illusions are getting all the last hits, and if his illusions, it's like when a tree falls in the woods to somebody hear it. If there's nobody there to collect the EXP, you don't get it.
What an analogy. That was actually good. I liked it.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You've been practicing. That's for damn sure.
I did.
Oh boy, double damage rune on Storm Spirit. This is pretty damn good on Storm Spirit. What's that?
His 35,000 gold that he's gained. His EXP actually blows me away. It really is amazing. Like, yeah, he's so far behind. He's actually like at Storm Spirit. He like doesn't stick around to get EXP ever. But there has been no fights, and usually get a lot of experience from fights and things. So
this has definitely turned into a stalemate of sorts. But more so, Cloud9 is just they're in their base. They're waiting for DK to actually push. But the problem at DK, they know they have the map advantage. The map, like, because they can see everything in the map. Cloud9 can't. And as a result, this actually works way in favor of DK because they can literally go to the enemy forest, which you can see in Illusion here from Naga Siren. You can farm the enemy forest. This is like stealing the enemy's gold that they could have gotten. And the only gold and experience that Cloud9 is getting is the ones that are like really close to their own base. And in fact, Mirana leapt away from the Naga Siren Illusion because she's that scared of them.
They have to be scared. These are really dangerous right now. They're hard to kill as well. Sing Sing is going for a Manta style. It's an item that gives some movement speed to his main hero. He can split to make illusions, and it gives all around really good stats, which is going to apply to all of his meepos. So, I mean, all of the farm is on Naga Siren, essentially. She's got it all. So if they can kill her, the fight's over, easily. She can buy back. She's got 8,000 gold that she'll never spend on anything. And this is starting to become a detriment. So if we think about this gold graph right here, it looks dead even, but there's 8,000 gold that will never be used. That's actually true. It's more or less never going to be used, except for on buybacks, which isn't a very good way to spend your money. So all of this extra gold that Naga Siren has, and by the way, she's going to continue pushing all the lanes and farming all the lanes. It's becoming a detriment.
She's taking farm away from her
she
teammates
is.
as well. Because remember, if you buy items, you can't actually give them to your teammates.
Yeah, that'd be too cheap.
There was a point in time where some of that worked, actually. I remember the Divine Rapier's days, but that's it. Yeah, so this is, like you said, this is a waste of gold. But she's keeping it, she kind of has to do it, because she's keeping the lanes pushed, she's making them stay on their side of the map, which still does create some space for everybody else on her team.
It does, but it only gives them jungle camps, and jungle camps are good, but they're not amazing. The lane creeps are far more, and they're way easier to kill, and heroes like Skywrath Mage, he actually can't jungle very easily, because if he takes any right-click damage, he doesn't have heals, he doesn't have lifesteal. I mean, they can keep getting Roshans and stuff like that. Even iceiceice is not progressing that fast. He only has almost 2 major items, whereas if you look at C9, they have like 3 heroes getting 6 slotted. I mean, Meepo's almost 6 slotted. Invoker is 5 slotted. He's basically almost 6 slotted. Doombringer is like 4 slotted. That's 3 items on top. Like, they're getting big items on so many different heroes. It's not really like all they have to do is kill Naga, and they just heavily kill their chance of winning, and that's the problem with the way that DK is playing right now.
So Storm Spirit and company killed Roshan, so that's an Aegis of the Immortal again going to Storm Spirit. We didn't even see that used last time, it just ran out. One thing to keep note of, the cheese continues to drop now with each respective. How
many cheese we got?
Yeah.
2 cheese?
So cheeses do not run out unless you use them. You could technically sell them for 500 gold, but I feel like worth it. So Storm has 1, as well as the Aegis. So technically speaking, if he can get that cheese off, he has about 3 lives. And Skywrath had the other cheese. Yeah, it is
Enigma and Storm, I think. Yeah.
So DK is just very methodical in nature. It may not be the most exciting thing to watch, but sometimes games are down to this, where you just out-farm your opponents. Especially on Naga, probably 10. Yeah, she has 10.
Oh wow!
K now.
A hero used a spell on another hero. This is the first time in a while.
Yep, it happens, man. This is one of the reasons that spectators, like, I guess a good example is TI 3 or 2, I can't remember, maybe both. But Naga Siren was hated every time she used her ultimate, which you guys have barely seen this game, which is funny. It was used to disengage. You use it, you run away, everybody TPs out, and no fight occurs. The crowd would boo every single time.
Yeah. A lot of times, yeah.
It's just not the most fun hero to watch, but
that's not always
DK.
true, but
That's true. It's not always the case, but in this game, it's definitely the case. But at the same time,
now that we've drawn your attention to the fact that this game is boring, thanks a lot, man.
No problem.
There will be a push in the bot lane. It's almost like DK has heard the call.
You see this pickup?
He bought a refresher.
Yeah.
Do you put on its courier? Okay, so that's one way that you can abuse having a ridiculous amount of gold. You buy items and you buy yourself a personal courier, and the courier follows you. So now what's going to happen is Naga Siren will have a fight. She'll use Song. She'll use her other. God, she still hasn't leveled up. This is so sad. How is she
Level
not 25?
17.
She has infinite amounts of gold, but she doesn't have max levels in Ensnare. She could actually be tankier and stronger if she was getting EXP, but instead she always runs away from the EXP. It's so peculiar. But what she can do is she can cast all of her spells, she can use her Song of the Siren, she'll transfer the refresher to her temporarily, she'll use the refresher, she'll put it back on the courier, and then all of her spells will be off cooldown again. Because that's what a refresher does. It resets your cooldowns.
And you can do this with other items as well. Like if she wants to go for another item called Necronomicon, this is, you activate it and 2 creeps come out and help you push, and they're very, very strong. So you don't want to hold on to it probably in case of not
running away from EXP range. He's so terrified about dying. He should be, because he's the hero that C9 wants to kill. Because if he's dead, then they have that, what, 8,000 or 40k gold advantage that actually isn't in the team. He actually has half of his team's money. All right, it's 40%, but 40% of his team's money is right here. If he dies and he doesn't have buyback, it's the easiest win ever.
Half the duration of the Aegis has already gone by, so 3 more minutes and the Storm Spirit will again not have Aegis. They could just be collecting cheese. So what you could technically do is get enough cheeses and an Aegis and just have double the numbers. It could be 10 on 5 if you can use them correctly. So
yeah. Give me a long one, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, this is a long one. It already is a long one.
That's only 52 minutes. That's like a slightly long but average Dota game. Well, we do have a 6-slotted Invoker though. He doesn't have buyback yet. I think we're not going to see C9 get too adventurous until they do get not only 6-slotted themselves, but also with buyback. And that's not too surprising because they're getting closer and closer and closer. And all that has to happen in these fights, they have such good counters. AUI just has to jump in and doom the Naga, and then Naga is going to have a bad time.
Have we talked about Ags on Jugs yet?
I think I mentioned in the draft stage, but you get Aghanim Scepter, it slashes more often, and most importantly, the cooldown goes down to 70 seconds instead of 100.
Yeah, and the cool thing is he has a Mjolnir now, which is a damage item that gives you chain lightning. You've seen Maelstrom. This is like the upgraded version of it. It gives you attack speed, which really synergizes nicely with his ult, because between those slashes that you guys see him use, he actually attacks normally as well, which can proc those chain lightning. Here's the initiation. Storm's finally going to go, and then we're going to see something. A black hole on 2. Aoi 2000 is dead. Juggernaut's not doing that much. He's going to spin out of trouble. The Doom, as you see on the top of the screen, flies back. They want to fall for DK. There's finally the Aegis being used. He still has the cheese, of course. He's going to be pretty careful here. BKB is forced out of the Storm Spirit, and he just... this is going to be back to front. But meanwhile, top lane, this is what this is all about.
Oh, this is really smart. It's buying him time. He's running next to the enemy team, and he silenced, or excuse me, slept them while his illusions are able to hit the Rex. So he bought them an extra 10 seconds or 15 seconds of time to do damage, and he actually almost killed the Rex. So that was pretty smart from DK. They had to use a lot of abilities. They used Black Hole and all that good stuff, and they lost the Aegis, but that was a pretty good trade. They got a power out of it. They were threatening the Rex. And once the Rex falls, the creeps that are spawning for DK are going to be much stronger, and it makes C9's game much, much harder.
Yeah, and Naga's just going to be in the opposite lane every single time. She didn't even bother using her, didn't have time, I guess, her refresher. I mean, the funny thing is, you think based on this purchase, a lot of times you build this a refresher or on somebody that has a very long cooldown for their ultimate, but her ultimate's only 60 seconds, so it's like this is complete luxury. She's just basking in the glory of gold. You can just picture her in a pile of that sweet McDuck gold. Ridiculous. And look at everybody else on her team. So underfarmed compared. I mean, it's not like it's terrible, but like Mushi as an example, or I'm sorry, Storm Spirit as an example. He has two items.
This guy would love to have more items. He would love to have more items.
He has a lot of gold.
Because he died so many times in the early game, he got ganked a lot. It was just another ultimate orb. It's just all stats.
Gotta be Sheepstick.
Sheepstick probably. It has to be. It gives him a huge ganking potential. He's very defensive, and I think he's got more than enough defensive items.
It could still be Scotty.
It could still be a Scotty.
You never know.
So this melee Vex is actually regenning HP. If they can just keep defending this, it's good. He'll go up eventually.
He actually might die at top, Purge.
Oh, really?
Look at this.
Oh, nice.
Whoa!
He's finally dead. He can buy back if he needs to. One of the benefits of him having low EXP, actually, is that he respawns fast because his level isn't higher. A 60-second respawn is actually pretty short. They're going to try to get more kills, though. Eternal Envy's coming from the back. He's running into 3 heroes. This is kind of scary. There's the Lincoln. That was the Hex. Bit of a mistake there. Eternal Envy's going to have died. Big mistake from him. But iceiceice is going to die in return. Not a big loss there. There's BKB from LAN-M. Can they stop Mushi? I don't know. There's ulti. Mushi's in trouble. There's the Hex. He does have a BKB pop to pop, though. And
fine.
He's going back in.
Doesn't even need it.
He's got like
He's
no
in
mana.
his
This is
ultimate.
really dangerous, actually.
Run away. Remember, when Storm Spirit's in his ultimate form, meaning when he's zipping around, he's actually invulnerable.
Yeah.
So Puck's ult does literally nothing to him. He doesn't even need to pop his BKB to get out of that. So that's the beauty of Storm Spirit.
Yeah. That was a big mistake from Invoker there. He tried to hex the Storm Spirit, but he forgot that he had a Linken's. He could have used his Orchid, another disabling ability of his, but he didn't. And then the Omni Slash came. He didn't have a way to go invisible or dodge the damage, so he just got killed.
What did Meepo drop to pick up that Heart of Terrask?
No, he had a Reaver, which is one of the raw components of the Heart. The reason you don't usually upgrade it is because the Reavers really cost efficient. It costs 5,500. The Reaver costs 3,200, and the Reaver gives 25 strength. The Heart gives 40 strength. So it makes his main Meepo a lot tankier, but his other Meepos don't get increased that much from the difference between a Heart. It's only like a Reaver to a Heart. It's only about 300 HP, which is still quite a bit. But
so you're talking about how much gold is being wasted on Naga.
Got it up.
So Naga is way up there, and then look, the next 3 are on CLOUD9. This is
10,000.
They have much better distribution on CLOUD9.
Honestly, I really feel like he should just push 1 or 2 lanes, and he shouldn't even take this lane. He should let the Storm farm it.
Really?
Like it's so weird. I mean, he can't do anything with the farm. Like, why is he taking this wave? You know, let somebody out there. I know they're waiting for a kill, so right now, obviously, he's not going to want to.
I'm sure there's
like
a medal
that,
somewhere for the most gold ever earned. And
it's got to be on Burning. Burning is historically.
He wants to break his own record.
Yeah, he's like,
I mean, come on.
That's why he's at TI, man. He's like, I need this team to not suck.
Screw the $10.5 million. I want the record for most farm in a game, for God's sake.
Yeah.
Very important. Very.
Got to be getting close.
Enigma is really farmed out himself, so he's pretty much 6-slotted. He could probably upgrade his power sets to Boots of Travel.
Well, yeah, he doesn't have very expensive items. Mech is only about 2,300. Blink is 2,100. So it's a cheap 6-slot. It's not like a hard carry 6-slot. But these are, I mean, if you're ever playing Enigma in a game, you'd be really happy to have these items. You can do so many cool things with it.
Now, keep in mind, there's actually another thing I didn't talk about for Juggernaut. If you can, Mjolnir actually has an active ability when you upgrade it to this. So you can place a static charge onto yourself or an ally, even an illusion, which he might be doing for Naga Siren, which would be really... Because when they take damage, it actually has a percentage chance to deal a ton of magic damage to the other.
It's not like it's like a nuke.
Okay,
so it's 200 damage.
The amount of damage itself isn't a lot, but it can actually proc a lot of times to actually deal a lot of.
And it's 20%. This is what Eternal Envy's been using to counter push and deal with illusions. Actually, or the Invoker that is. He cast it on himself. The Radiance Burn does damage every second, and every 5 of those, on average, will do an AoE of 200. So it's a really good counter against Radiance, actually, because it's a thing that does very low damage, generally. I mean, 50 damage is pretty low at this point, and it gives them more chances to reflect. So
it's Roach farming time, Purge. Are you excited?
Cheese number 3, baby.
Oh, baby. Have they used any of them?
Looks like they did, actually, in that last play. No. 1, 2, cheese number 3. Who wants it? There's one. Oh, they forgot it.
Just leave it for the other team. No.
Okay.
They combine.
These are stacking now, so now he has to hold them together. There they are. So he can use this twice. They have a cooldown. 40 seconds. Okay. So if you ever want, this is a huge waste on MMY because he only has 1,000 HP, but he can full heal with this.
Yeah.
Up to twice.
Well, we'll see if this ends up turning into a fight, actually. The Naga Siren I wanted to talk about quickly. He could technically upgrade some of his items to be a little bit more effective. I think having the Radiance on the Courier might be a good idea, because all you're really using that for is pushing the
that's
lane.
a good idea.
So just using it for that and then swapping it out for a very big damage item, such as a Daedalus, which is a strike.
Courier hiding. Oh, it's all the way up.
Effective.
Oh, man, I can't even click on this. It's like right over here somewhere.
What are you looking at?
I'm looking for the Courier, but it's like... I can't get it.
Unkillable.
Can't get it. Oh, they're fighting actually. LAN-M in a lot of trouble. He gets doomed. He's going to go down. AY drops another hero. That's 2 gems, I think. Storm's running for his life. A Courier as well.
But look at Naga Siren top. This is what she does. You have to refresh this.
Got to refresh
The
her.
problem is once you get one barracks with Naga Siren, it starts to snowball out of control. And you have to defend this, even if it's just 3 illusions. It may not seem like much, but it is. So everything's being used to get rid of these, and this just wastes time, because getting 2 big kills like that is actually enormous for CLOUD9.
Oh my god, it's going to get it.
Illusions even get it. Unbelievable. Again, that is just the ranged barracks, so it's not a huge deal. So only the ranged units in that lane for DK will be strong, comparably at least. But the melee is the real prize here. That's not a huge loss, but...
AOI against Team Mushi. Ooh, he found iceiceice as well. He was trying to Omni Slash that. He would have probably killed him. He's got good armor with the Shiva's Guard, but iceiceice has magic damage from Mjolnir and physical damage from Omni Slash.
The sheep stick is now finished on Storm. He can jump in, sheep somebody right away, because while you're actually flying, you can use items and abilities actually, so you're literally invulnerable. There's no way to do anything about it. And Puck is similar in the same way that he can just jump in with that Blink Dagger and still sheep somebody else. Kind of the same way, think about it. Just instant initiation, but...
Ooh, Lincoln Sphere paying off big time. If the arrow lands, this could be huge. It's not gonna land though. Lincoln's definitely worked out though. That was a disable. I think that was a hex. Let's take a look. Yeah, that was a side device that was blocked. So this Lincoln's on Bone 7 completely pays off.
Eternal Envy in the opposite jungle now.
Oh,
so they're finally getting out of the base. They feel like they need to do something. I mean, they're definitely getting strong, because remember, Naga Saiyan's been at the same strength level for a long time now, but the rest of his teammates ended up getting a little bit more farm. We've been talking about how he should probably give up a little bit more to his teammates, but they've still been getting a decent amount because of the map control and whatnot. But, I mean, CLOUD9 starting to get some farm too, so...
They are. Let's look at who's 6 slotted. Invoker has all of the items that he can. Meepo has all of the items that he can. Doom is very close. He's 1 item away. He'll sell his Midas when he gets ready for his next. He'll probably buy an Aghanim Scepter, I think, or maybe an Aghanim Scepter would be okay. Maybe a damage item. I'm not entirely sure. Bone 7 now has 4 items plus treads. He's missing 1 basically. 1 to 2 items, so he just needs another 6,000 gold. That's it.
Honestly, I'd like to see another sheep stick on. I think you just need to go match sheep stick.
Not a bad idea.
And when you get into the extreme late game, a sheep stick, as long as you can't block it, and the BKBs, remember, each time you use the
Pylite die.
Oh, Pylite die, he takes a lot of damage, he leaps into the trees, he's actually going to live at least for now. LANM is doomed, remember that silences, he can't do anything, so he is dead. Look for the buyback.
Number 2.
Doom number 2.
What a fight.
Pressure. CLOUD9 dominating that team fight. Where is Naga Siren? Oh, what a surprise. She's in the enemy base.
She could be in trouble though. There will be TPs and things. There's a tornado. He's coming through. Caston. There's the Hex. Bernie's in trouble. He's gonna go. He's only got 16,000 gold though. Can he buy back? I don't think he's gonna be able to afford it. Sunstrike's gonna secure the kill. The Rax defended 28 HP. What a fight. They got 4 kills there on DK. The only person that's still alive is Mushi. They fought that so well. Look at all the gems on the ground. What happened was they went on Pylite Die. The default murder this guy hero on the Radiant team. Storm jumped in on him. Look at this courier just collecting 3 gems. These are all, okay, 2 of them are dire gems, but they went on him. Immediately Sing Sing jumped on high ground. He found the 2 squishy heroes on DK, and AUI at the perfect time jumps in and he dooms the Enigma before Enigma can do anything. The Doom is such a good counter. He can't cast Black Hole twice. Like, that should have won the fight. I was like, okay, he's gonna Black Hole the Meepos. It's gonna make things a little tough for them. Nope, he's doomed. Fight's over. So simple.
Stormstroke is looking for a kill for Puck on Puck.
Yes, he did it.
Pops the Lincoln. Unfortunately, isn't going to hit his deafening blast skill.
Oh man.
Sing Sing on the Meepo destroys. Holy jeez, that's a lot of damage. Skyrim Mage is pretty squishy overall.
Buyback.
Buyback is here.
Comes in.
Stormstroke has no mana though. He does have the Aegis, so he kind of wants to die.
Kills Aegis. Now you gotta run. Not asleep. He'll catch anything. Does.
Doom is slept, I should say. That's a
more big arrow.
Term. Yeah. So I'm just Doom has a nice stun, but he's ended him going down thanks to the silence and whatnot. So 100-second cooldown for him, but that's not that big of a deal as they're going to continue to chase.
2 heroes.
Puck is going to die as well, so 2 dead. Honestly, it's not
buyback on Puck.
Yeah, they're fine.
Buyback on Doom. Doom bought back that last fight 2 fights ago down here, so they're all ready to go. That was still really good because let's see how many buybacks were used on DK. Now buybacks aren't very consequential this game because everybody has so much freaking money that it doesn't matter. But Skyreth Mage buying back is significant because he doesn't have very many items, and Burning buying back means actually nothing. So the only important thing is that they can't buy back now. So if Burning dies again, he's going to be dead for like a really long time, like 120 seconds or something like that. So gotta kill the illusions. They're going to take the racks. Good Deathbeam Blast is going to prevent these from attacking. You can see the little broken and can't attack symbol, and they get them all. Good cleanup.
The broken can't attack symbol. I love it. I love these descriptions coming out from Purge Gamers. You can check him out in that chest, buy his signature, goes straight to his pocket.
My signature.
Absolutely.
Apparently the Naga's courier died apparently. It was worth 7,000 gold. So he only has 6 items, guys.
Well, he still has 13,500 gold. God be with every one of us. May God have mercy on all of our souls. Meepo and company.
They got their buyback. They can't buy back if they need to, but they'd like to save them if possible. The illusions are going everywhere. They're actually spreading out. This is smart. This way that's harder for them to deal with it.
Is under attack.
They're going on the bot
Out here, BKBs are going in, looking for the black hole. LANM dropping Midnight Pulse, nothing yet. Invoker goes down. He might have to buy back. There's the buyback. If they get too many Raxes here, it's really bad. CLOUD9 comes in, right clicks on iceiceice. They're slowing him down. The song comes out from Burning. They're disengaging the fight. Everybody's backing out. C9 is chasing. There's the Doom on iceiceice. They're going to catch him. Looking for more. MMY, another slow. They do the second person. Burning. He stopped Burning. Can they kill Burning? If they kill him, he can't buy back. There's a great black hole. Tornado's going to interrupt, though. That's going to give him a second. He's still chasing Burning. He wants to kill, but the BKB is almost, or sorry, the Doom is almost on cooldown. Huge black hole from LANM. Actually, Refresher Orb comes in. iceiceice, I think we'll get Sing Sing. He does. What a huge ulti from Ice. Man, that was a lot of damage. And Burning, what is he doing? AUI is going to go down, I think. Lucy cleans that up. What is happening everywhere? So many buybacks. iceiceice will finally fall.
This is what happens when the game gets out of control at 70 minutes. Everybody has gold. Everybody has buybacks. Good Lord, help us all. They're going to try to push down mid now, but buybacks galore. Let's look at it. Hit the I button or whatever your buyback status is.
I've been on there the whole
buybacks.
time. Everybody bought back except for Pylai and Storm Spirit. Everyone bought back. So everybody's gold progression, all right, at the very least, this means they're going to have to buy new items if they expect to fight. They're going to be like, okay, we can't buy back anyways, so we might as well spend our gold, you know, except for those of us that have 10K and already have full items.
Yeah.
A bit of an unfortunate fight there for C9. They really wanted to get more kills out of this.
Oh, look at Burning.
The important part, though, is that we're on big cooldowns for the Radiant team on C9.
Burning has an Assault Curious coming to him. I'm wondering if he's going to switch this out for his Radiant. So what this will do, give his team and himself a lot of armor, as well as a minus armor effect on buildings, which is the big deal here. What does he switch out?
Right,
Fusel Blade?
He's going to bring the AC.
Oh, that's so smart. So I'll talk about that in a second. Because apparently somebody was killing this rack. What he did was put a Assault Curious on himself while he made the illusions and then put the Radiance back on himself. Oh my god, that is...
They're losing their racks. C9 needs to win a fight here. It's not looking good. There comes the Omnislash. Oh, the song is actually going to interrupt this. This hurts iceiceice pretty bad. But can they get kills? We'll see. Burning, getting dodged. Taking damage on the racks. Rax is getting low. Illusions on the racks. AUI wanting chase. Use iceiceice. Are they going to fall up on this or are they stopping the illusions? Illusions are going to get the racks, but can they fall up? They know where he is. There he is. They spot him. No Shiva's guard for just a moment. AUI is still chasing, but he's fast. Another nuke. He's going to be really low. Arrow. Oh,
no.
Full snap. A couple more hits. That's going to be a kill. So
but they lost
dead.
almost every barracks, and the importance
Oh my
of this,
gosh, this is all they have.
Once this range Rax goes down, the creeps from all the lanes become magnified to a large degree.
It's time. It's time to go all in.
There's
This is their chance.
There's a Divine Rapier.
Okay.
Eternal envy of all heroes.
He buys a Rapier. This gives him plus 300 damage. If he dies, this drops. This is C9's last chance, but it's a pretty good one. This is actually one of the better last pushes I've seen all tournament. Okay, it's dead. That's it. Mega creeps. This is their last chance. They're not, okay, these are megas. This is their last chance. Jug's dead for 90 seconds. Burning gets buyback in 1 minute. So if he dies, if Naga dies, or if anybody on DK dies, they're dead. If anybody in the Radiant team dies, they're dead. They have to end the game. They're going up the middle. They have to kill this tower, then they have to kill these 2 towers, and then they kill the throne. They need to do this in 1 minute. They're trying to pick somebody off. DK is going to try to pick anybody off they can as well. AUI is going to have Doom in 30 seconds. He's got his professional. Sing Sing is ready to go. They're going in. They're fighting. Bone 7 in trouble. If Bone 7 goes down, he's dead. He uses himself. Black hole gets you 3. This is so big. If Bone 7 goes down, Bone 7 goes down. AUI looking to do somebody. He gets LANM. Sing is so low. The arrow, but Bushi's going to die. MMY is low. Sing goes back. He's retreating. He doesn't want to die. He's going home. Divine Raper's on the ground, but Burning is backdooring. He's trying to trade things off, and it doesn't look like C9 can win it. They're trying so hard. They almost did it, but that black hole was giant.
The Naga always wins. Why? And Sing Sing's taking a lot of damage from Burning, but Burning is surrounded. Remember, he's really slow.
No.
They're actually going to get this kill, but Meepo dies first. No! What did he eat? Did he eat a creep or did he use his level?
Good game is called. C9 accepts their defeat. Naga does it again, man. He just pushes in. He takes your buildings with little threat to himself because they're just illusions. And
all right.
They were ahead, and they were ahead, and they had the better team fight and the better team fight, but they have been ratted.
All right, I just want to bring up, I know we're not supposed to talk about advanced things, but it was so impressive, I have to say it. So, we talked about how much gold was wasted on the Naga Siren, right? So what he did at the end of the game, I kind of said it. He bought the Assault Curious, right? He put it on himself,
Okay.
in place of like his boots of travel or something.
Okay.
He made the illusions and
Okay.
then he put it back into the courier.